And what Brazil has done is they've taken the Australian crowd out of the equation by playing so well in the first half, particularly Eric Silva with 20 points. There's Norris for Australia in the opening seconds of the second half. Ness is there. There's a bit of shoving off the ball. There'll be an Australian ball. And the opening few minutes you'd expect, Nick, in this second half, so important for Australia to at least eat away at this lead.
Absolutely. We need to stop right now and we need to get a simple basket. If we're going to win this game, we need to be shooting the ball from 3 foot under the basket. Simple as that.
Now the refs haven't quite decided what's going on. They're waiting for actually shots. So there must have been a foul in the act of shooting there for Brad Ness.
We'll take that.
We'll take the shot, but not the result.
Come on, Brad. If we're going to make a mark on this, we need them to drop.
Ness, the skipper.
That's better.
It's his first points, and he becomes only the 4th Australian roller to have points. Everson has 10, Norris 16, and Sachs is in bother. He's in the sin bin with 3 fouls, and Ness with 1 point.
That's one of our big problems. We are not spreading the scoring.
Now there's a foul off the ball, and the Australians will win control of it, and this will be Dowler who'll take it from backcourt.
It was actually a violation. I think one of the Brazilian guys went forward on his front footrest, and that's not allowed.
Well spotted. Now it's Norris for Australia. Shot clock to 10 seconds.
Oh, we need some movement.
Here's Everson. He's thinking about it. He's still thinking about it. He's got 5 further seconds to think about it. Oh, he's passed. That was hit and hope. That was hit and hope.
I don't know about you, Walsh, but there was no movement then. Just watching that then, there was just nothing happening. Justin had the ball and he didn't know who to give it to.
No, and in the finish, it didn't happen. Opposite end, the Australians will get a board. Yes, they will. Everson takes control. It's 29-45. Margin is 16. Not sweet 16 either. Nothing sweet about that margin. It's a big fat 16. Everson for Australia. Off to Ness. Ness, shot clock under 10 seconds, has control. He's getting guarded so closely. Bounce pass was good. Pass was excellent. Oh, Everson missed it the first time. He won't miss it the second time. He gets 12 points after that too, and it's 31-45. Back to 14.
Yeah, just got to be patient. And whilst we got to the red dots on the time clock, we ran down. At least we got the basket. And it's all about patience. But Brazil is getting layups. They've done us a favour. We were very lucky. We didn't deserve that. But anyway, that's basketball. So come on, Justin. Let's make them pay.
He's going to try and go solo. He makes the 2 and draws the foul. Justin Everson gets 2 points and gets the bonus, and Australia all of a sudden back to 12. And are you a believer, Nick, in this business of when you get back? Look at this for a shot first. Look at this. Up and in we rattle and roll. Are you a believer when it's under double figures? Psychologically, does that mean much?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right in the ballpark when you're under double figures. But Justin, if he can bury this, we are starting to talking getting close to that anyway, and he does, and that's a ripper. So we are on the way back, and this is what we want to see.
And you don't say talking turkey in Beijing, you say you're talking Peking duck. That's what we're talking.
We do. I tell you what, I could eat it every day. It's fantastic.
Oh, we won't go into your cuisine. It's 45-34, 11 the difference. Game starts to hot up. With the ball, Nunez, 8 seconds on the shot clock. No, it rims out. The Australian ball, well done.
That's what we need. Get them shooting from outside the the 3-point line. And here we go.
It's good. Oh, well done, Australia. No, not quite there for Norris, who was on the end of 2 passes down the track, and he couldn't quite make it. And at the opposite end, there's a rabbit killer. Ooh, that might be an intentional foul, unsportsmanlike foul. That was a chop on the neck.
That Brad Ness, who used to be an Aussie rules footballer, that was a good. Yeah, that's not good.
It's an unsportsmanlike foul.
He didn't need to do it. He could have been smarter than that, but that's the nature of the beast. The passion, the energy. We see it now with Brad. Yeah, that's. Ooh, he should be doing judo.
Well, what happens, of course, is it's a shots and side ball and momentum swing now, because the Australians were starting to gather some momentum, getting it back to within 11 points, but because of the intentional foul, or the unsportsmanlike foul, shots and side ball, and the first one is in.
This could be a 5-point turnaround, which is exactly what they didn't want to happen.
Geraldo Lima has 3 points, and it's a 12-point ball game. He's ready. It's on its way for 2 from 2.
And Geraldo, I tell you what, wouldn't mind him shooting him a foul shot. So they were all net.
Yeah, just a swish. Margin is 13 points, but you do sense, as the Beatles say you want a revolution. Well, there's just about a feeling now.
The Aussies turn it up. Come on, turn up the wick. This is what we need. And that's okay. That's okay. You give him a foul because otherwise he would have been on a layup, and a foul equals 2 points. So Mick Harnetto's got a couple to give. But what you've sensed is we've lost a little bit of momentum. We need to get that going again. There he is doing the turtle dance on the floor.
It's always good to see. There's been a few turtles that we've seen in various bowls of soup here. Some of them haven't been quite dead either, I might add. Here's a chance now for Lima. Oh, well done underneath. Should be 2. It is not 2, but there's a foul. Oh, Eric Silva was underneath, put the shot up, missed it. But because he was slapped on the hands in the act of shooting, he gets a couple, and that was not what Australia wanted.
If I was a coach, I'd be yelling out, hands up, don't put your hands on your wheels. As soon as you put your hands on your wheels and you're defending someone, they think that you are pushing into them and they automatically call a foul.
Substitution for the Australians, as we see coming on court, Stivners. Brett Stivners wheels on and replaces Brad Ness.
See, we would have put Troy on if he wasn't in foul trouble.
Yes, it's all about, and it's amazing in the sport, because you're in foul trouble, you get sent off. That's it, you miss out.
That's what happens. Your options change. All of a sudden, instead of whacking Troy Sachs on, you put a rookie on. But I still have faith that this guy, if he can get a bit of momentum, he's not here to be a tourist.
Eric Silva gets a zip from 2, and the Australians get the ball, do they? Yes, they can. They can through Justin Everson. Brazil 47, Australia 34, 13 points the difference. Everson on the move. Takes it inside the 3-point line. Has a ponder. Has a good squiz as to what's on offer. Over the top, the pass was all right, and there's a foul. Australia, as we saw coming in to take the shot, Brett Stivners, but underneath there was just a little bit of ugly work from...
Did the ball drop?
No.
Didn't drop.
It didn't drop, so it's
side ball.
Side ball for the Aussies, who were down by 13 points. Brazil 47, Australia 34. And that ball's going to tip out and will be still with the Australians. So just under 7 minutes of play remaining. Brazil led at quarter time 24-12, at half 45-28. So in this term it's 6 points to 2. Hasn't been much momentum, but the lead was always going to be hard to drag back. Sean Norris off towards Stivners. In.
That is fantastic. You've got a young guy, his first Paralympics, he has the confidence to take the shot and nails it in the third quarter when you need it. That's fantastic.
Where'd you get the nickname Sticky?
Geez, I don't know. I didn't go to primary school with him, but and actually that's a turnover. That was an offensive foul, so all of a sudden the ball's in our court. We can get a turnover, and I'll tell you what, we're 11 points.
And Brazil now 4 team fouls with 6.5 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Reach 5. Each time there's a foul, the opposition gets shots. We're starting to become a little bit enthused. It's on its way. Brett Stivners finds the hole. And it's 47-38, the margin 9. This is as close as it's been for a long period of time as Stivners gives away the foul, but he's made his presence felt on court.
And as you intimated before, Walshy, we are now under double figures, and this is where, if we can, with 6 minutes remaining, we can get back to 5 points at three-quarter time. I'm putting some money on the Aussies.
Chinese dollars aren't worth much. Keep them in your pocket. Go and buy some fried rice after this game, will you?
I will. I'm staying away from your restaurant with the turtles.
Here's a turnover again for the Australians, who are on the fast break. Here's the man who's really gingered them up since he's come on, and he nets another 2. Brett Stivners has 6 points. Oh boy, has he really motivated the Australians. Timeout call by the Brazilian team. And it's Brazil 47, Australia 40, with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the third period. How about that for a burst?
Now I want to get back on court again. That was absolutely fantastic. We've got the passion, we've got the drive, we've got all the things that Aussies are renowned for on the basketball court. Brett Stivners, he has taken a step the boy. I tell you what, he's a rookie, but he has just hit the 6 points. We're 7 points down, 5 minutes to go. I don't know, to use the words of Big Kev, I'm excited. These guys are looking really, really good.
Well, tell me what's happened to Brazil.
Well, I think what's happening is we've turned the wick up. we are an international side who's ranked 2 in the world. And what we've done is we've turned the wicket. And we're playing good defence. That's where it started from. We're getting good transition basketball. We're getting ball down the court with good options.
Sticky, a hard-working athlete from Oak Flats in New South Wales. After being involved in a car accident, he became an amputee. However, this never stood in his way for the passion of sport. In 2003, he first began competing in wheelchair basketball, and in 2006 made his first Australian wheelchair basketball team and competed at the Gold Cup in Amsterdam.
I saw there he's one of his favourites saying he wants to enjoy what he does, and I reckon he'd be having a ripper time at the moment. He'd have to be enjoying giving Australia another chance at this game.
And how appropriate, because the most influential person in his life is his father, and it's Father's Day.
There you go.
Heading towards three-quarter time. Brazil get what they desperately needed, and that's a bucket. Margin is 49-40, 9 points the difference, and that was from Sandoval, who now has 6. Australia fighting hard, the Rollers. Brazil maintaining superiority. Eric Silva has not scored in this term, and there's a foul. Australia get 4 points for Justin Everson plus the bonus, and it's 42-49, and Everson has 7 points in this term. Stibness has 6. They are the only 2 who've scored. Apologies, Brad Ness had the 1. So what a quarter from these 2.
Look, all of a sudden Brazil have to look at 2 players on the court, Stibness and Everson. For the last 3 quarters, Australia has only had 1 guy on court that was a threat. Now they have 2. Holes are opening up. We're looking good.
Everson, yes, it's all right. He has 18 points. And it's 49-43. The scramble now to try and regain possession, or perhaps force a turnover. It comes to Sandoval. Sandoval for Brazil. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Sandoval. Norris backs into him legally, of course. Very strong defence by the Australians. It's under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sandoval puts the ball on the floor. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. The three-point shot does not fall. Brett Stibness, he is having a monstrous quarter. Norris wheels in and out of bother. Has control of the ball. Everson. Shot clock's to 10 seconds. We'll watch it. He goes to Stibness. Why not? His hands are hot. Underneath, was there a foul? It's going to be a Brazilian ball. I thought from where we were it might have gone the other way, but the 3 refs are a lot closer. 6 points the difference. 4 minutes 40 to go, third period.
Yeah, but I don't think they're smarter, Pete. I tell you, that was a pretty ordinary call. But anyway, be that as may, I'm just an old basketballer who wants to see my team win.
Yep, the no call's a good call in most sports.
Yep, I hear you on that.
Here we have Pessoa. Pessoa there. His pass is off to Roca, and Roca left it alone. And it's a goal, a Rollers ball. 6 points the difference. Close to three-quarter time. Everson. This will bring the house down if he can rattle this one. He can't, but there's a foul, and the Australians will win the ball. And what a player. But just to step in and to say, all right, I'm going to roll on court and I'm going to have an impact. That's what he's done.
Absolutely. And Big Harnett then just setting a fantastic pick that allowed the roll into the basket. And I've got to point out a player that's just come on, one of my personal favourites. And we can see there the kangaroo and the girls up in the stand, obviously cheering heaps. And little Dylan Alcott, he's a 19-year-old guy from Melbourne. And I can only but tell you, as a one-pointer in his previous, in the National Championships before we left home, he hit 19 points. And he is a talent, that boy. He's an absolute talent.
He looks about 12.
He does.
I was watching him for the national anthem, I thought, he is so young.
He's a baby face, but by God, he can play.
That's good to hear and good to see. 5 points the difference. Brazil win the ball. Hurry if you can, Australian defence. Norris got back, prevented the sharp-shooting Eric De Silva from putting the shot up. He's still got it, but he knows he's got 5 seconds left now. He's going to try and cut through as he fouled. He is. Just like the old traffic jams that we see all over the place in Beijing, and there is absolutely no room to move when a bus goes in one direction, 3 pedestrians walk in front of you, and then 9 taxis. It doesn't matter. They all seem to be able to miss, but here there was a mess.
Well, absolutely. But Dylan, he bought a foul then. I mean, ultimately he saved us 2 points. You send him to the line, and hopefully you get away. If he misses one, or even both, then you've won. And
substitution.
Brendan Dowler on for Dylan Alcott. So that's Brendan's certainly got the experience and he's certainly got the speed. So that was giving Dylan a bit of a taste of Paralympic basketball for the first time.
Now, Eric Silva, 20 first half points, and that's his first for the second half. He moves to 21, and it's a 6-point ball game with 3 minutes and 55 seconds of play remaining, and the looks from those that are watching are of enjoyment. 22 points now, still the key player in the game, and the margin back to 7 points.
And Brazil has a pretty big team on court, and actually they're quite quick as well.
Looking for your gut feeling on this one, Nick, because it's just one of those games where the Australians at 17 points down have got it back to 7, so they have reduced the margin by 10, which is a massive result in a quarter. Sachs sitting on 3 points. There's a bomb, the attempted one from outside the 3-point line from Stibners. Didn't go. Here's a turnover. Alexandra, he got it clear. That was a nasty turnover for the Australians. And there is no bucket, but there's a foul.
That was bad luck. He actually was just a little late. In wheelchair basketball, you need half your wheelchair in front, and you need to be stationary when the other wheelchair hits you. Conjecture would say he probably wasn't in position quick enough. The wheelchair is treated as part of the body, so if you set a charge, same as able-bodied basketball, you've got to make sure you're stationary and keep your hands out of the play. So that time it didn't work, and Brazil unfortunately have capitalised. Their foul shooting is keeping them in this game.
Sergio Alexandre, who has his first, and he misses with the second, but as you suggested so accurately, with the talls on, the rebound defensively went the way of the tall-timbered Silva Sandoval, but Australia win control. This is Everson over the top. Here's Norris has it at halfway. Norris still with control. Is anyone going to give him support? Does he need it? Yes, he does. Yes, he gets it. Yes, he has. Everson gets 2 points.
Patience, control, and geez, you get a layup. They're the ones we want.
Everson has 21 points and the margin is 6 with 3 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Brazil, are they running out of juice? I don't think so. This has been a wonderful fight back by Australia, but is there anything left in the tank? I don't know what unleaded's worth here. I can't read the signs, but is there enough left? There's a bomb and a half for 2.
And then they come out and do that. And that's why, and that man, De Silva again, he is hot and he can play a game of basketball, that boy.
Score check, 54-46. 8 points the difference, 2.5 to go before three-quarter time. Brazil lead, Harnett for Australia. Has control, looks for and searches and finds Norris. 1 second left, you better shoot it. He does. It doesn't fall, and it'll be a Brazilian ball, and they almost turn it over, and there's a foul. Foul called on Norris, who crept in from the side.
It's his third.
It is. He just crept up, and the foul is there. Now the Australians are in team foul trouble, so there'll be shots for Brazil, who lead 54-46.
And if I'm correct, I think we might be having a substitution. Yes, we are. Grant Meisens, Adrian King, and the man, Troy Sachs. Hopefully Troy can keep some control and channel his passion and really, well, he's obviously a tall, so he can really give us a hand to get some stability out there.
So I'll interrogate you in a moment as this shot misses. Is he someone who loses control constantly, or is that tempered with age?
I think it's tempered with age, but there is certainly instances where Troy's behaviour is he gets over adrenalised, for want of a better term.
Okay, so he loses his temper.
Yes.
Over adrenalised. I like that. Must use that again. Here comes Sachs. Here's the over adrenalised Sachs. Over the top. Everson's the target. Everson's the money man. Oh, he couldn't nail it, but he got fouled. He couldn't quite nail it. He
actually looked like he was trying to draw the foul rather than concentrating on the basket. But regardless, he's at the line, and that's a good start.
Eric De Silva, 22 points. Nunes has 15. And for Australia, Everson has 21. And he still has 21. 2 minutes to go before three-quarter time, 54-46. The Australian Rollers, one of the favoured candidates. Brazil, not rank outsiders, but hard to get any information on them as this shot misses. This one just made the lip of the ring, and Brazil a chance now to make Australia pay with just on 2 minutes to go.
Oh, that's a rough call, ref.
Everson tried to take the ball out of the opposition player's hands. Why was it a rough call?
Oh, look, I think in close quarters you've got a bit of hands. There was no real foul there. He had control. Look, if you're going to use an elbow, no problems, but just ticky-touch with hand stuff. But that's why I'm not a referee.
Big 2 points here for Sandoval.
And I might just add, you do have to play the rules, and within the rules, that was a foul.
Now, at the stripe, Francisco Silva Sandoval has 6 points. And 2 accurate shots here, can kick it out to 10 points. The first one's all right, he's got 7.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind betting on their percentages from the foul line. They have killed it tonight. That's what you got to do. That wins you games from the foul line.
And he misses with the second. Australia get aboard. Yes, they do. They do. And Sachs will bring it over halfway. And he looks mean from even where we are, and we're binoculars away from the court here. I'm serious. We could do with a pair of binoculars.
We could. I tell you what, Saxie, he should enter into gymnastics at some stage, because dead set he was a NASCAR then. He was rolling about 4 times, and but he loves to put on a show. And as we watch here on the replay, Troy getting the ball off just in case he didn't get the foul. Occasionally he's just got to be a bit careful. You saw there he grabbed the other person's chair. That is highly undesirable in the referee's eyes. If you're going to fall, you've got to make sure you fall freely from somebody else. But he hits the basket, and that's what we needed.
Well, because of team foul trouble for Brazil, the Australians at the line with Sachs. 3 points now for him. 4 points for Sachs now, and the margin is 7 points with a 1 minute and 49 seconds of play remaining in this third period. Brazil, who've been in control for almost all of the game, and do it well with Alexandra. Alexandra's pass off to Sandoval. Sandoval, yes, it's in.
I don't know if you saw it on the screen, but poor old Grant Meisens was actually up on his wheels. He was teetering there. We were 1 man down. He actually picked out one of his players, unfortunately, but that's the nature of wheelchair basketball. If you fall out of your wheelchair, you try and get back in.
9 points the difference. 1 minute 18 to go as Sachs goes the fancy pass, and it will be not 2 points. Everson got a slap and a whack and a tickle, and he'll get shots.
And that's the one thing Troy's got. He has got vision and the ability to get the ball off. And I like him where he's at the moment. He's controlled. He's got his aggression under control, and he will get this team back on if he can.
Dignitaries.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy in the middle there, and there's the previous Australian coach, Murray Tressida, who's now coaching Great Britain.
Boo. You can't say that.
Nah, you can't. He's a good guy, and he's obviously, the GB guys are obviously throwing a fair few resources their way. Justin Everson, that's fantastic. We are now looking good with 1 minute 14 left on the clock.
Nice little turnover. Would be handy. One that you can't buy in Beijing. As Sachs gets tipped out of his chair. Here's the 2-on-1 play, and there's a foul too against the Australians. That's against Grant Meisens, and so there'll be shots to Brazil with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go before the end of the third period, and 57-50 is the score.
I tell you what, the Chinese at the moment, they'll be watching wheelchair basketball for the first time and seeing people falling out of their chairs. And there we see a beautiful little boy and his mum here to watch the basketball. I bet you his dad's probably either playing or his mum's maybe playing, but that's the future of wheelchair basketball there, and future of all sport.
Yep, fair call. Sergio Alexandra misses.
That's the first miss at the foul line, I reckon, for a good 20 minutes.
Yes, if we had stats, I'd be able to confirm that, but the computer left, which is a really sad thing. A very sad thing. Second shot is not in, so Australia a chance in the last 60 seconds.
Absolutely, let's get this down under 5.
Margin is 7 points. Sachs makes haste. He won't go the pass. Everson's there. Everson is in for 2. 25 points for Jay Everson. Right, and boys, the Australians are trying to get the steal.
Let's get a stop here. Oh, come on. We just need one stop and we will be... no foul, no foul.
Oh, Sachs has got the hands up, but in no way has he incurred the wrath of the referee, and the Australians win the ball. 30 seconds of play remaining before the third period closes. Everson, Sachs rushes through for the screen. Actually, Everson crashes into his own teammate in King. Now the pass is off for the King. Can the King do something royal just before three-quarter time? Dowler goes up. Dowler misses. He swats it back out like a big fly swat. Well done. 10 seconds left on the clock. There's a shot left for the Australians. Who'll take it? Sachs will. Sachs lines up. It's in the air. It didn't fall. It's three-quarter time. Not quite. It's 0.8 of a second, but there won't be a score because it's a Brazilian ball. No, it's an Australian ball, so it's catch and shoot in world record time. There's the catch. There's the shot. Oh, it hit the ring. It hit the ring off the glass, but it's three-quarter time. And here at the National Indoor Stadium, men's wheelchair basketball, the Australian Rollers in all sorts of bother at half-time have bounced back. But it's still Brazil who lead 57-52 by 5 points at three-quarter time.
And away